Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome. Been nice and relaxed today, guys. Let's just jump on here. Oh yeah, I'm knackered. Just I was talking to Matt earlier, just far too late staying up, watching the stock market and all the interesting things about that recently. And because I'm not at work, I'm just waking up later and doing stuff later. So just got myself a cup of tea. It's 8:20 at night here, and it's deadline day again. It just feels like all the time we've got a deadline coming up. I've got things to do, things to chat about, of course. Probably the worst signing transfer business I've done so far this season was DCL in for Bamford for a -4. A lot of people got hit with that. Hi Rudy, welcome back, buddy. 57 points. It's a very, very small red arrow. The first one I've had, boy, in quite a while. You can see 4.4 million in game week 8, and then it was a run of green arrows until game week 16, which was a 190k red arrow there, then kept going up to 902k. So it's a 20,000-ish red arrow. And it's just another case of what could have been, guys. The first couple of games of the game week was awful for me. First match of the week, Everton get done at home to Newcastle, who's done nothing in weeks, who don't look like scoring, who don't look like winning, get absolutely deservedly beaten by Newcastle United. Can't argue about the result. I could just argue about Everton's performance in that game. Next game comes along. Both of my Man City defenders are benched in a clean sheet. Both of them, you know. What can I do? So first two matches, I'm looking at two benched players, and I'm looking at two players that brought in for a hit, getting 3 points between them. So I had an awful start to the game week. If you actually have a look, my entire squad, I only had 2 returns. Unfortunately, one of them is my captain. Mo Salah, you just can't get rid of class. It's permanent, right? So I had faith in him. He's really set. I know he failed on the triple captaincy, but he's really saved my game week here. But I did talk about this on Friday when we streamed and we were in the chat last week. That's exactly why I kept Robertson, because I said, Cancelo and Stones, what's the point in money in the bank? I might as well get rid of Taylor, who's injured anyway, and put Robbo on the bench, because I don't think both City players are going to play anyway. I didn't know both of them were going to get dropped. So Kufal came in. Kufal's not the worst player to come in as well. So in terms of the game week, 57, it's still 9 points higher than the average, which isn't too bad. It's just, you know, it's a minus 17 point swing, that Bamford transfer. Going on to what I'm looking at for this game week, the reason why Mike Bassett is there is that I am currently, guys, looking at a 4-4-2. I don't like the idea of benching 2 West Ham players. They're in a good bit of form. Souček always punishes you when you bench him. But I just can't find a way. And, you know, maybe Stones and Cancelo both get dropped again and Souček and Kufal both come in. That's more than likely. Transfer next game week is probably going to be Dominic Calvert-Lewin going down to Antonio, because West Ham, following this game week against Aston Villa, I think it's Fulham and West Brom. No, Fulham and Sheffield United, in the next 2, which is very good. So this game week, I'm actually thinking Heung-min Son, I think, is the most sold player. Now, I'm not going to sell Son. He's at home to Chelsea, which isn't easy. Spurs are looking pretty rubbish right now, but they've got West Brom at home next game week. I can't avoid. He's still 57% owned. A goal from him will probably kill you. He's very good captain or vice captain option next game week, so I'm probably not going to sell him. I'm probably going to sell Gundogan for Jack Grealish. Now, not just because he's blanked, he is a centre mid. Yes, he plays for Man City, but Burnley away is not a green FDR fixture. I think you guys in the chat would probably agree. I do not see Burnley, home or away, being a 2 fixture in terms of an attacker. In terms of defence, you've got a good chance as a top quality team like Man City to get a clean sheet against Burnley. But in terms of an attacker, I know they usually thump Burnley at home, but just for me personally, I don't see Burnley as an easy victory, an easy attacking player point team to sort of target against. I had Jack Grealish a long time ago. I think it was... I had him for most of the season. Why did I get rid of him? Was it the blank game week I think I got rid of him for? Either way, I'm just thinking Jack Grealish because not only do Aston Villa have games in hand, decent run of fixtures for Aston Villa. West Ham, Arsenal, Brighton, Leicester, Leeds, Wolves, Newcastle, Sheffield United and Fulham. That is the running that they're about to come across now. And Jack Grealish is just so good, so key to Aston Villa. Aston Villa themselves as a team have been fantastic. So when I look at Man City, Burnley away is not particularly great. Then Liverpool away, Spurs at home, Arsenal away. And then you can even argue West Ham and Man United at home are not particularly fantastic, but Gundogan's a centre mids, CDM. I'm not going to captain him. I think they're difficult fixtures. And who do I really want in my team right now? Jack Grealish or Ilkay Gundogan? And I'm just thinking Jack Grealish. Got the money to do it, so that's probably going to be my transfer. Now, I could have done Grealish to Souček, gone 3-5-2, and bench one of my defenders like Luca Dean. Could have Luca Dean as my first sub, and I could play Souček against Aston Villa. That's another consideration that I could go ahead with, but I'm not 100% sure about the lineup. But I'm thinking Gundogan is going to go to Grealish. So let me know what you guys think about that transfer plan. Next week will be DCL to Antonio. I think that's pretty solid. Matt, you did the same. You got DCL in for Bamford. I don't think it wasn't. Now, I always say don't get angry at the result, get angry at the decision. But I think actually in hindsight, for a -4, DCL not scored since game week 11. Everton haven't exactly been free scoring as it is. It wasn't the best decision. But the fact that Newcastle have been so bad, they were definitely a team to target like Crystal Palace, right? So getting in a player that's got Newcastle, and then Leeds who concede goals, United away, not easy, and then Fulham at home. That's not the craziest, considering as well Leeds don't have an easy run of fixtures. So Leeds are going to play against Everton, but I think don't they have not the best run of fixtures going forward? Everton, Palace, Arsenal, Wolves, Villa, West Ham. It's not too bad. It was probably the wrong decision. I do not regret getting Luca Dean in, but I do think I regret getting in DCL. He was so happy at the start because a player that isn't home, then everything went downhill. I think Jesus got you the goal, right? You have this 5 defenders: Holding, Rudiger, Robbo, Diaz, and Cancelo. You don't play 5 at the back. What to do? Well, Rudy, because you can see in the ticker, premium problems right now. The reason that I had Robbo last week, I didn't sell Robbo. He was going to be on my bench. And you're probably thinking, why are you benching like a 7 million defender? Now, in a couple of weeks, you're going to have Man City playing against Liverpool. Game week 23. I'm probably going to bench Stones. And I might even bench Robbo as well. Having 5 strong defenders right now, I don't think is a terrible thing when we've got money to spare. Like, if you've got some plans to bring some people in, then that's fine. But right now, I've got like 3-4 million burning a hole in my pocket. Do I want to have 3 or 4 million and like not a very strong bench? Or do I just keep 1 or 2 million in the bank and have an absolutely banging bench because I'm probably going to wildcard soon? That's the way that I look at it. Will Cavani start? You think he'll be rested? He's on your bench at the moment. Smith Rowe is in. Cavani's a difficult one because of his age and because you've always got Martial, Greenwood, Rashford all vying for that top spot, especially him versus Rashford. I just think Cavani's one of them where if you've got a good bench, then fine, but expect him to either come on for the last 30 or play the first 60 or 70. But for me, he's just not. I think there's just too many players out there that are better than Cavani in terms of FPL. Like Watkins is it like Watkins, Antonio, the Bamford? You know, I know the generic, and I know Cavani's exciting and stuff, but I just don't see Cavani as an answer to any questions. Basically, Bamford versus Watkins, or drop Jesus and use both. Are you playing 2 up front, Christy? You don't want to play 3 up front? Judging by the fixtures I've just said about Man City, I would contemplate dropping Gabriel Jesus. I'm not a big fan of Hayes as it is. I know he just scored last game week. He could get dropped because Sterling was dropped. Maybe they go for a false 9 and Sterling plays down the middle. So that, again, Jesus or Jesus is like a 9 million plus player that might not even play. There's a strong chance that Jesus doesn't play. Burnley away is not easy. They could mark him out the game. City score goals and get spread around, right? Aguero is back in training, breathing down Jesus' neck. And you've got Liverpool and Spurs and Arsenal after this Burnley game. You know, Jesus is probably the one for me. Double game week, City versus Spurs, Everton, Fulham against City happening soon. This is true. I think his name is Kun Karam. He's a City fan, and he found on the like Arabic page, it was like whited out. You could see in the background saying basically there could be a postponed fixture in game week 24, and it looked like it was Everton, which made me kind of double take maybe not taking out Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But I don't like that. And also, from a Man City point of view, yes, I'm going to go for 2 City players in a minute. I've already said that I'm really contemplating, guys, really contemplating having Edison, because I said this on Friday. Having Cancelo and having Stones is great and well and good when they play, but every 2 or 3 games to get dropped. Edison is like 9 out of 10 or 19 out of 20 is going to play. So I might as well try and bring Edison in, even if it's just for a double game week. Because in that double game week, I don't trust, well, one, game week 24, it's Spurs at home, and then it might be Everton or Spurs again. Whatever the fixture is going to be, they're not easy games. And 2, there's definitely going to be rotation. It's Manchester City. So if I've got Stones, Stones might play against Spurs, but then doesn't play against Everton. Or Fulham. They miss one of the games. But Edison will probably play both. Do I think DCL is good long term? Decent. It's on and off for him. You can see Leeds away, I think, is a really good fixture because Leeds can be one of those teams that just have the floodgates opened up at the back and they can see 3. United away, difficult. Fulham at home, good opportunity. Liverpool away, difficult. But Liverpool, we know, concede goals. So, and it's a derby, possible. Southampton at home, goals could be there. Chelsea away, difficult. Burnley at home, difficult, but there could be goals or chances. Palace at home, good. Brighton away, decent. I think he's quite good long term. Hi, Asota. Let me just talk to Junkie first. Oh, wait, sorry, Robbo. If so, who would you sell from the 3? Watkins, you have Grealish, Antonio, Bamford. I would honestly not go from Watkins, Antonio, or Bamford. If you force me to choose, I would say Bamford. But then if you're saying DCL versus Bamford, as someone that's just gone from Bamford to DCL, I wouldn't even mind going back. You're removing both Gundogan and Jesus after this game week. I had thought about holding, but Jack Grealish, man, I had him for so much this season. He's such a key player. It makes me triple Aston Villa, which makes me nervous, and also makes me think that I might actually do Antonio in for Watkins next week. But Villa've got games in hand. Watkins is right up there. And if Grealish gets the assist, it's probably Watkins scoring. Or if Grealish tries to give the assist and Watkins miss, Watkins gets the assist. You know, fixtures are decent. Games are there to be had in hand. Why not just have both? What do I think about Mahrez captain or Firmino? Don't like it. Not a huge fan of that, if I'm honest. And I just think Salah is such a strong... So if you're going to the captaincy options, right? Fernandes, great option. Man City away to Burnley, not the best. Spurs and Chelsea, anyone could win that game. New manager, not too many. I mean, they've had a couple of goals, but they're scored from defenders. Spurs are just awful to watch. No Harry Kane likely. Not captaincy options there. For me, Salah, Mane if he's back, Robbo or Trent even. I think Liverpool have the strongest chance for captaincy this week. So you could argue Firmino because he did miss the West Ham game and then came on and he was involved. He did get an assist, right? Mahrez, you don't even know if he's going to play. Burnley away is not ideal. Mahrez, he could play and he could get 15 points. He could be benched, come on and get 1. That's what you're going to get with Mahrez. It's just going to give you that headache. Salah could be dropped, in all honesty. We have seen it so far this season, but that would be a huge surprise. If you take a punt on Mahrez and he's on the bench, you've not really got that much to complain about. But Firmino was an outside out, and when I say outside, I mean outside punt. I'd say yeah. Hey, Denver. Didn't miss too much, mate. I'm just a little bit slow today, I think. Just a bit tired with watching the stocks. But we've just been talking just then about captaincy. I talked I'm probably going to do Grealish in, Gundogan out, and then next week Antonio in for DCL. It's my likely move. Hey, Dread, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back, mate. Ings or DCL long term? Southampton have been a bit of a blip recently because they had some defensive issues. Walker-Peters still flagged. Vestergaard, Salisa's out for a while now. 14th of February, a couple of weeks. A couple of injuries in midfield. They've just signed Minamino. Fixture-wise, though, United away, not easy. Newcastle, Wolves. I said this on Friday. Wolves have just been absolutely nothing this season. Decent fixtures there. Chelsea at home, not easy. Everton away. Sheffield, Brighton. It depends when you're looking as well to bring in or use your wild card, right? Over the next few, I think Danny Ings has like okay fixtures, but DCL it's like easy, difficult, easy, difficult, easy, difficult. So that's a choice for you there. You need some motivation. Sterling / Mahrez in for Gundogan and Grealish in for Son, sitting with 6 million in the bank. Had to break up the whole of midfield. Yeah, I've already said I'm going to do Grealish in for not for Son, for Gundogan. It's going to be my move. Hey, Harry, how you doing, buddy? You need some help. Zala, Grahalish, or Barnes. Already have Watkins. So I've already said, Harry, like, I've had Harry Grealish. Oh my God. I've had Jack Grealish for a lot of this season. And I just haven't regretted it. You watch him play. He's such a threat. Aston Villa have games in hand. Zaha has the fixtures, but Crystal Palace, oh my God. So I just hate watching Crystal Palace. I hate it. So you can say, I always say this every stream, guys. I can watch every game, all 90 minutes. I watch match of the day. I have to skip through Crystal Palace. It's painful. Like people say, oh, Newcastle, it's so bad to watch. Crystal Palace for me is just the worst team to watch. Zaha, but when we're talking about FPL, yes, Zaha has the fixtures. If we have a look, you can see Newcastle away, Leeds away, Burnley, Brighton, Fulham. That's a real difficult one. If you don't, yeah, you say you've already got Watkins. If you also got Martinez and you're a bit worried. So for me, I'd be going triple. I've got Watkins. I've got Martinez. I'll end up going triple in Villa, which form-wise and price-wise isn't the worst. But it does make me apprehensive because we've had missed games. But if we're looking at 2 or 3 double game weeks coming up and you've got 3 of those lads who are almost undroppable, right? Martinez isn't going to get dropped. Grealish isn't going to get dropped. Watkins maybe misses a game, but I mean, Watkins has been 90 minutes. Like, look at that. Every game from game week 2 to game week 21, he's played 90 minutes. Right? So You'd be the same as me, Harry. You'd be triple Villa, but form, price, points, fixtures, potential top of game weeks, I can't say no to Grealish. Zaha has the fixtures, just not the team. Zaha can easily go out there and, of course, pick you up some points. 2-7-0-3-3-7-1-2-2-2-18. The thing with this is he's had like 3 explosions. So he's an all or nothing player. I just think Grealish will tick along nicely. Barnes as well, he's improved his finishing to his game. 6.9, so he's cheaper. But again, look at that, 9.668. And then before that, 2.87. He's in great form, is Harvey Barnes. Fulham, Wolves, Liverpool, Villa, Arsenal coming up. So I think in terms of fixtures, I think he has the most difficult run of fixtures. And I've had Harvey Barnes before. Without Vardy, I don't know if it makes him a better asset or worse. I haven't compared the numbers about no Jamie Vardy or with Jamie Vardy. But there's people who can replace him. No Ndidi in the middle. I know he got points personally against Leeds, but 3-1 defeat at home to Leeds doesn't exactly scream confidence right now. I've got to say Grealish out of those ones. All your 15 is playing, it's so hard to choose. Is it smart to pick the best fixtures or form? Oh, Rudy, that is an age-old argument. I do believe, though, this season form is more important than the fixtures. That's just because I think we've seen more upsets and everything. Hey, Neil. How's it doing, bud? How you doing, mate? Chilwell for Rudiger. No, because Chilwell might start and Rudiger might get dropped. Honestly, I wouldn't be doing... Well, one, I won't be doing any defensive transfers for Chelsea away to Spurs in the next game. After that, yeah, fixtures are pretty good for Chelsea, if I remember rightly. But is it Tuchel? I don't know if he knows his best 11 right now. I just wouldn't be touching Chelsea recently until we know what formation. It looks like it's going to be that wing-back formation that he's going to use, but I just wouldn't be looking to invest into any Chelsea players because we just don't know who's going to play, in my opinion. I mean, Alonso just played and got, what was it, 15 points he got? 14 points. Right? Maybe it's Chilwell's turn. Reece James was dropped. Hudson-Odoi had a blinding game. I think Hudson-Odoi was rightly man of the match. But who's going to start the next game? James or Hudson-Odoi? I just wouldn't be investing in Chelsea right now. I think it's too up in the air. Do a quick score predictions in the stream. I'll have to... I always forget what my predictions are, though. I should write some of them down. You quite fancy Barnes. And he is explosive. I'm not going to say like he's not, because without Vardy as well, he's probably got more license to be that attacking player. And maybe Iosi Perez, who has, on paper, replaced Jamie Vardy up front. Harvey Barnes gets more of that license to be the player that gets in behind. So... I think Zaha, Grealish or Barnes, whichever one you choose, it's a good decision. They are good players. It's just going to be one of them where you bring in Barnes, Grealish bangs, and you're going to be like, oh, I could have got Grealish, but honestly, I don't think there's a poor decision in those three. I think you're going to roll a transfer this week. We'll get Watkins in next week. Yeah, I mean, I could roll it. There's nothing wrong with playing Gundogan away to Burnley. I'm just looking at Jack Grealish, and I know they're against West Ham, and West Ham are in great form. I know they've just lost to Liverpool, but West Ham have been looking really good, but I just cannot ignore Jack Grealish. And remember, looking at points, I'm looking at players that are likely to get you points. That's the point of FPL. And when I'm watching these games and Jack Grealish is just like taking set pieces, he's going up the wing. And I always like the idea of having two attacking players from a team. I would have even been tempted to bring Mane in for Son this game week, but Mane still got flagged. He could still be injured, so it's a little bit too much of a risk there. But the idea of having Salah Mane playing up front together, that's why we like Cancelo and Stones, because they play together. So just having like Grealish and Watkins, if Villa score, it really heightens that chance of it's going to be one of those two players that gets you the goal. Leicester going to riot against Fulham. No, I think Fulham have massively improved defensively. I don't think they've been smashed in quite a while. They might not be getting the best results, and they have conceded like 2 to West Brom. But if we have a look, 2-2, no goals against Brighton, 2 goals from Man United, 1 goal from Chelsea, 1 goal from Spurs, nothing from Southampton, 1 goal from Newcastle, nothing from Brighton, 1 from Liverpool. Defensively, a lot more sound than they used to be. And Leicester without Jamie Vardy, and have just got smashed 3-1 at home to Leeds. I don't know. Barnes in for Son might be there for a few weeks if Barnes keeps up. Yeah, and that could be another thing. I'm not going to take another -4. That was my first -4 last game week in quite a while. I don't want to take another one so soon. But if I were to make, if you put a gun to my head, make 2 transfers right now, I would probably do Son and Gunnar 1 out, Barnes and Grealish in. They would probably be my 2 moves right now. In fact, because I want Antonio in for next week, because if you look at West Ham's next couple of fixtures, Fulham and Sheffield United, even Spurs, it could do so. It's a bit more difficult after that. I don't particularly want to be triple West Ham and triple Villa. I think I've been here earlier this season, and I didn't enjoy that roller coaster, if I'm honest. If I just go back and look at Barnes's fixtures, Leicester's fixtures, Fulham, Wolves, Liverpool, Villa, Arsenal, they're not the best run of fixtures. Barnes or Salah? Golf, I'm going to say Salah there, mate. Like, not even a competition for me there. Saw a tweet saying Pickford rib injury. Oh, that'll be when he conceded the goal against Wilson, right? And he dived and he landed on his ribs, I guess. Who to drop? 3 at the back: Stones, Diaz, Cresswell, Dallas, Kufal. Who do you drop? I'd have to say Dallas and Kufal. I know Dallas can score, but Leeds usually concede. I would say then between Dallas and Cresswell. You got 2 West Ham defenders and they're against Aston Villa, and I think Aston Villa's going to score, so drop maybe both West Ham defenders. Pickford is out, also will play. And to be honest, for me, having Luca Dean at the back, Pickford not playing is probably a better situation for me, if I'm honest. Isn't it? Just shouting hello there. That's strange. So actually, if Pickford is out, I'm probably happier about the game week than I should be. 4-4-2, because Mike Bassett is my thumbnail this week. I don't like it. I'm a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 man. You're watching games and you're hoping no one's going to concede. I will say something though. I did watch the Everton game against Newcastle, and even though Everton were just absolutely poor and Luca Dean could have done better, Luca Dean had so much space. He was trying to put crosses in. He was really attacking. So I did take some comfort from the fact that Luca Dean is a good player to watch and he might get some attacking returns. Calvert-Lewin didn't basically get a sniff in that game. Predictions: Sheffield, West Brom. Oh God, 0-0. I mean, come on, if there's goals in that, 0-0 I reckon, or 1-0. 1-0 Sheffield United. Wolves, Arsenal, both for me. These 2 teams have been disappointing nothing teams here. I think it's going to be 2-1 Wolves. Man United 3, Southampton 1, Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 0, Man City 1, Fulham 1, Leicester 2, Leeds 2, Everton 2, Villa 2, West Ham 0. No. Aston Villa 2, West Ham 1. Liverpool 3, Brighton 1. Spurs 1, Chelsea. I was going to say 0. I'll say 1. I think Chelsea will get. I reckon that'll be 1-1. That's what I'll go for. Bench Gundogan or Souček, and bench Antonio or DCL. I would bench Souček. I'm benching Souček and I hate it. I've benched him for 15 points already. Antonio or DCL. Again, I'd probably bench the West Ham players, but that's just because I think Aston Villa's going to win. Back to the trusted 3-5. I'll be back to 3-5-2. Don't you worry. Next game week, I'll be 3-5-2 all over the place. Cancelo, captain for you. Oof, if you had Sterling, you captain him, but on the one, I think Cancelo's a good option. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Who would I drop out of? Barnes, Zaha, Grealish, Bruno, or Gundogan? Gundogan, if you had to choose one there, Golf Perfect. Hey up, how's it going? West Ham versus Villa, hardest game to call. I actually just think Villa's going to win. Or I think it's going to be goals. I'll put it that way. 2-2, 2-1, 3-2, 3-3. I think it's going to be close. I think there's going to be goals. I'm hoping there's going to be goals. Future plans. I think I'm still sticking with the idea of we need to wait for the double game week fixtures to come out. But I think the good old 25 wild card, 26 bench boost is still on the cards. But I think like a lot of you guys, with me already having a lot of double game week players, and because premiums are out, so my squad, if you actually look at my squad as a whole, is pretty, apart from Brewster, and I've got money in the bank to upgrade Brewster as well, I'll be able to boost up and improve my bench good enough for a bench boost. So I might still wild card out of the double game week. So bench boost in the double game week and then wild card out of it for that blank in 29. That is also another option as well. So wild card in or transfer out for the for the blank game week, or just wait for the fixtures, load up in the 4 weeks or so I've got left, which, I mean, I could roll a transfer and just go Gundogan and wait for Grealish. I mean, I hate rolling transfers. Who doesn't? E.T. I don't know. Is that a reference to the alien? Martinez or Johnston? Martinez. I said it last week. Martinez has probably been my player of the year for FPL. He's been so good. The Hammers will concede less goals than Leeds, but Dallas playing midfield could score assists. Yep, I agree, Denver. Yeah, that's why I said Dallas over Cresswell and Kufal. No need to wildcard, but that all just depends on who or what the double game week's going to look like. That's the thing. So yeah, I'm probably not going to have to wildcard for the double. I'm just hoping I can transfer. Hopefully we'll get an announcement sooner rather than later. Will I be putting De Bruyne back in the team? That's a good question, Adam. No, my plan was just going to be not until I wildcard again was going to be my move. But the fact that I'm not bothered about keeping hold of Heung-min Son and I've got money in the bank, I can go Son to De Bruyne. So I could if I wanted to. Gonna want to go out for Grealish, so I'll have that Manchester City space. But with Groiner having a serious muscle injury, Man City being a rotation side as it is, I'm not in a... If it's like, oh, Kevin De Bruyne's fit now, I'm not going to rush him in for that first game back. Thoughts on Chilwell getting back in the side? It's possible. I said earlier I wouldn't be touching Chelsea assets. I really wouldn't, because I just can't see... Is Hudson-Odoi going to play? Is James going to play? Is he going to stay with those three with the wing backs at the side? Give it maybe one more game week and then we'll get another better understanding, because he'll have had 3 games under his belt. But the fact that Hudson-Odoi's... Has he nailed that right wing back slot? Is he just waiting for James to be more match ready after his injury? Is he really looking for Alonso at that left side? yes, he's got a blinding goal, but necessarily maybe the manager wasn't too pleased with Alonso's performance. You know, we're looking from an FPL point of view, right? Alonso gets 14 points, he gets a clean sheet, and he gets a goal. Wow, he's amazing. But, you know, the manager and the coaching staff and the backroom staff will sit down and analyze all the individual player performances, and they won't look at it from an FPL point of view, right? So, Chilwell, could he be back in the side? Yeah, he could be. But it's far too early to be doing that. Same thoughts for you, Adam, about Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, it's just not worth it. And there's lots of players to pick out. Headache. Oh, and Ruta dropping out. Your planned transfer, Grealish in for Gundogan is my planned transfer. He's exciting, great form, good fixtures. Gundogan, love him, great player, got some points out of him. But Burnley away, and then Liverpool and Spurs, I think, are the next couple of games. I don't need it. Plus, if Kevin De Bruyne is back fit earlier, and I don't want a wild card, and I want Kevin De Bruyne back in, I'll have that Man City space for when he's fit and ready. Or I want to take a punt. I want to get Sergio Aguero in. You know, Pep's going to come out tomorrow. He's going to say, Sergio, he is ready. He is ready for the game. I don't know why he sounds French. Sometimes maybe Pep Guardiola sounds French. But I tell you what, that'll turn some heads. Please like the video. 22 watching, 7 likes, please like. Yeah, if you guys don't like and subscribe, that's great. I never push things like that, or no Patreon stuff or stuff like that. We just usually just chill. And I've been a bit sick recently. I played football locally on Sunday again. Just like practice, like 8 on 8. Did really well. Came back, fever. I'm still aching from that. First time I played football in months. Scored loads of goals, which was all nice. Big man up front. Big man, good touch. You always used to get that. So I'm 6'4", actually, if you didn't know. 190 centimeters tall. I'm 6'4". Centre back usually, but I've also done a lot of up front. So, of course, growing up in the 2000s and football, even then, was just like lump it up to the big man up front. Or if you're a defender, you don't learn how to touch it. You just boot it up to someone who can play football, right? Pretty much it. So that's how I used to get that. Big man, nice touch. You got so lucky last week. You transferred in Sterling, made him captain, vice captain with Salah. Then you had Bamford first sub in for Saka. Yeah, Neil, I said earlier, so you know I took Bamford out for DCL from -4. That was a negative 17-pointer for me, that. It's really upsetting. But I'll be honest, that's the first time this whole season where I really think transfers have gone wrong, where I've actually immediately made the wrong decision. So that's a good thing. All right, guys, I'm actually going to leave it there for today. It's just been over 40 minutes. It's just a slightly quick one today. Remember, the deadline is, for me, it's 12:30. So 9, 10, 11, 12. About 3.5 hours. Are we going to do it now? It is going to be Grealish in for Gundogan. I'm going to listen for some press conferences and some news, because I don't want to bring in a player and then I find out he's injured. You saw on Twitter, you're sorry. Oh, it doesn't matter, Neil. It's just a game. We made a decision. Who knew Newcastle were going to be Barcelona 2007? You know what I mean? It just happens. So yeah, it's going to be Gundogan out and then Grealish in. Oh, but then I'm just so tempted to try and get Ederson. I can do that in the future. DCL goes to Antonio next game week. And then Forster goes out for Ederson. Oh, but then I'm having to bench Martinez, my love, my hero. Oh my God, that's Manchester United. For Ederson, this would be for the double game week though. What a double game week. Pairing of Martinez and Ederson, that would be. And then I'm stuck with Brewster for a double game week. I'll have another think about it, but it is probably going to be good one for Grealish. I'm just going to listen for some press conferences. He had to stick on DCL. It wasn't the worst goal. Yeah, I think it was all right. It was all right. Yeah, Simon sticking up, of course, for Everton, being an Everton fan. No bias there at all. Lots of points previous from him, and that price still. Yeah, and he could pick it up, but Simon's not happy for Calvert-Lewin to go out for Antonio. Antonio is just so key, and West Ham have got Fulham and Sheffield in the next couple of games. No way, keep Gundog. Nah, I think he's just going to go back to centre mid. Look, we're not worried about prices right now, right? We've all got a lot of money, or most of us have got a lot of money in the bank. Gundogan or Grealish. Don't think about money. Who's going to get you the points? I think it's going to be Grealish, but we'll see. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe leave a like and subscribe. And I'm going to go chill for a bit. So, well, I say that. It's about an hour and a half and the stock market's going to open. So I'm just going to have my eyes glued to that. Take it easy, guys. And yeah, have a good one.